Right, hello guys, this is a new take on things, yeah? It's called a casual cast, and it's D1 over here, bringing you this casual cast with Avatar X on the other side, otherwise known as Mike. Hi Mike, how you doing?
How's it?
You're right, cool.
I'm doing well.
Yeah, cool. Now, the point of this casual cast is to go over some games, just briefly, and sort of take you through the game and what's going on from well, the average viewer's perspective, and that's why Mike's here. So rock on, Mike. And obviously you started your replay, right? Yeah, got everything underway.
Yeah, it's going well. I'm at 47.
Yep, and that's right on the mark. Cool beans. Now we have got SjoW versus BratOK, and this particular game took part in the ESL Go4SC2 Cup number 37 on Sunday, September the 12th. And this is the semi-final, so it's quite a big game, and one of these guys goes through to the finals, and if you guys have read any spoilers you would know who that is, but Mike on the other hand does not know, because their final took place approximately 30 minutes ago and they have not told him the result. So aren't you excited, Mike?
Sounds like fun. Not knowing who BratOK and SjoW is, who would you reckon is a favorite?
I would definitely go with BratOK. You know, BratOK has really featured in a lot of tournaments beforehand. As opposed to SjoW. SjoW's not. Well, he's been in a good few. He's finished in a good few top 10 positions and whatnot. But BratOK's definitely got the reputation behind him to pull together this type of game.
I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, gonna have to. Here we got SjoW starting off with exactly the same build as BratOK on the other side of the map. They're both starting off with that supply depot first, that their racks, and then the refinery. A build you're quite familiar with, so Michael?
Yeah, I played Terra myself. I see that BratOK has quite a good scouting pattern, making sure he goes all the way to the side before going to the Zelnaga tower. Whereas SjoW has yet to send out a scout, playing a little bit more defensive, it seems.
Yeah, a bit more cautious. It's always important to send out an early scout, you know, and I really got to agree with the early scout and whatnot. I usually send my scout out as soon as it's done at the racks and send it out there, just so I can get in my fellow Terran opponent's base before this Marine pops out, which we are seeing the case in BratOK right there. Now SjoW is unable to send a scout all the way into BratOK's base because their Marine is just going to shoot it down. Now, as you mentioned, that scouting pattern, he does just that, just to ward off against any kind of proxies that might come his way. This, of course, a favorite for proxies and whatnot, just given that little grass on the edge, blocking a line of sight, blocking a little vision on the side there. So that's quite popular. Of course, you and I, we rather like the Marauder proxy, don't we, Michael?
Only if it's Protoss, otherwise, yes.
Yeah, the Marauder proxy rocks. Looks like we got a factory going down for SjoW right after that rack, so he has gone for that early factory. Also thrown up a second refinery fairly early. On BratOK's side of the map, he has also opted for this early factory, but not a second early refinery. So he's obviously not going to be going too gas heavy as his opponent is. Interesting. We're just going to see some Marines coming out for SjoW now, as well as a Helion. So he might be doing a little bit of harass with that Helion. And there's that early starport from SjoW too, so he's definitely going to be throwing out a lot of starports. Now, because he's put up 2 refineries, it's making me think that he's going to be putting a tech lab down on the starport and going to throw out a Banshee or 2.
In your opinion, why would you reckon an early Banshee against Terran? I mean, they have the scanner sweep and Marines. It doesn't seem to be too advantageous.
I hear you on that one. Of course, you do need that their cloak research before you can do any of that. But before you can do any of that nifty Banshee harass that requires scanner sweeps. But scanner sweeps are so expensive, man. Like, if you think about a mule brings in about 300 minerals. That's a shitload. Okay, I'm not going to censor any of that. That's a shitload of minerals right there. And so really wasting your opponent's scanner sweeps is actually in your best interest. We're not seeing any cloak research going on just yet, but we are seeing that Banshee. Banshee is also, of course, 2-shot Marines the hell out of there, so they're quite effective against the Marine composition. BratOK getting a good look at. Whoa, that SUV is going to get taken down one time. Look at that. Engineering bay going for a SjoW now. Yep, and it looks like we got another engineering bay going from BratOK, as well as the second refinery, so he's going to be maxing up on the gas. That's not going to be doing any of that. It's so important in Zolnaga cameras to take advantage of these Zolnaga tires. As you can see in the center of the map, we've got SjoW controlling the left one and BratOK on the right. I'd expect both of them to control the opposite ones. But it looks like BratOK has got this well underway. He's loading up that medvac as well. He might do a drop here. Let's take a look. That Banshee finally out for SjoW, but he's not using it as any kind of harass. He's just using it as sort of a part of his force. It's quite a cool usage of a Banshee there, especially when going up against so many Marines. Doesn't look like that drop is going to go on after all of those Helions from the medvac, so he's just going to hold back on that. Early Vikings is definitely going to help out BratOK over there to take on a medvac and Banshee, but there is another Viking to counter just that, so that's, I don't think BratOK's fully anticipating SjoW's unit composition here. And SjoW's unit composition actually 100% counters BratOK, so he's got a good thing going for him right about now. Helions take the front lines, but they get taken out so quickly. Look at that Banshee just working on those Marines, but that medvac doing a good job of keeping those Marines up. That's probably why I brought it along. Of course, Marines quite effective against Marauders, but not when they're stim. That stim research just went up for SjoW, and he manages to really thwart the forces of BratOK over there. Good force, that one. Good little play. Look at that Raven out now for BratOK. And why do you think he's going that Raven, Michael?
I'm assuming it's for the defense drones.
Point defense drones. So effective against Marauders. And but of course he needs that Raven quite early on to take on those Marauders. So we're going to see a little bit of a push going on from SjoW. No, we're not. We're only going to see a few scouting Vikings. But you know, by winning that little battle over there, SjoW has given himself a bit of a window to expand. And that's exactly what's going on at the top. He's going to be expanding now, throwing up a couple things in the mix and getting some macro underway, while just scouting out BratOK, seeing what's going on there. BratOK, of course, despite not having the window to expand, has chosen to build a command center regardless, and very bold, risky move that, because I think SjoW has got a bit of a window to attack now. If he hadn't expanded there, he would have a bigger window to attack, and could have actually taken this game.
I think that BratOK was anticipating gaining some advantage earlier on when he attacked SjoW's base and was building the command center in preparation to expand. Probably not assuming to actually be able to end the game, but hoping for some advantage and then to push that advantage now with the command center. SjoW's command center only finishing now, whereas BratOK already has a his command center upgraded to an orbital command.
Yeah, that is quite an advantage, you know, the ability to throw down mules nice and early before your opponent. So even though SjoW does get that command center landed down and he's got some SCVs on it already, BratOK does have the advantage of the extra mule coming down from that expansion. Good move, that one. Now, you come from a Warcraft 3 history, Mike 1. And you know all about expanding in Warcraft 3. When's a good time to expand in Warcraft 3?
I mean, usually a good time to expand is when you have some sort of advantage, but you can't end the game right away. You know, when SjoW won the battle earlier, he figured that he had an advantage and decided to expand, which is a good play. And in BratOK's case, he was anticipating having some sort of advantage at the end of that battle and had begun building expansion beforehand.
I hear you. So in that way, it's kind of expanding in StarCraft 2 would be much the same as in Warcraft 3?
Yes, I think in that way, in those regards, they're quite similar. Obviously in StarCraft 2, the resources and the macros far bigger plays a far bigger role in a game than in Warcraft 3. Obviously only having a population limit of 100 as opposed to 200. And it seems both players have decided to play, you know, fairly cautiously this entire game. SjoW not pushing any advantage, not doing any drops after winning that battle, deciding instead just to expand. I quite like what he's done at the right with his factory there, not using it and setting it out there, rather to scout for any possible drops coming from the side to give us some time to anticipate.
I gotta agree with that. Good call, that one. And just to ward off against any kind of banshees that might come in from the side or any drops of Helions and stuff. Very good call there. Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree with that one. And yeah. I was actually wondering earlier why that factory was out there. It's like, what is he doing with that factory? Is he nuts? What's he doing? But but he's actually got it in just the right position to scout out for any kind of drop. So good call, Michael Wine. Good call. Gold star. Well played. Nice one. I like it. I like it. Looks like much the same unit composition this, and both players playing very hesitantly. I mean, this is generally how Terran vs Terran go, and people often say that this is a little bit of a sleepy matchup. Just because Terran's always better on the back foot, so they're constantly waiting for the opponent to attack. So you can imagine how things go when an